you're going to hear all kinds of propaganda. You're going to hear all kinds of lies and deception. There will be tactics used to try and buy you out. There will be tactics used to try and frighten you away. And I only have to say one thing to you tonight, comrades. We are blood and fire comrades, and we're marching on to progress. And we will stand firm.
Remember that. Big up on yourself, you know. None at all. I'm not sure. Remember that. Here. Big up on yourself, you know. I'm just bless that thing, you know. Big up on yourself, yeah.
O thou Most High, O excellent and majestic is thy name in all the earth. Thy hast set thy glory above the heights of iration. Out of the mouth of babes and suckling has thy ordained strength to still the enemy and the avenger. When I consider the heights of iration, the works of thy mighty hands, the light, the moon, and the stars which thou hast ordained. What is man and woman that they are mindful of them, or the children of man and woman that they visitest them? For thou hast made thy heights as the light of all ages, and hast crowned thee and I with wise mind, knowledge, and understanding. Thou hast given I and I dominion over the works of thy mighty hands. Thou hast put all things under I and I feet, all goats and cows, and the beasts of the field, birds of the air, and the fishes of the sea, and whatsoever passeth through the paths of the sea, O thou Most High. O excellent and majestic is thy name in all the earth. Selah Selassie the first. Jah Rastafari.
Yeah, man, I'm going to start it off that way there. Saying, and I'm going to start with Nikisha Birchell, the breakdown. So I'm going to do the breakdown.
After a disaster, the smart thing is usually the opposite of what the government is going. Help the economy recover, encourage spending, get businesses back on their feet. Instead, what the government is doing is increasing costs across the economy in general, because government says it must raise $18 billion in taxes from the backs of the Jamaican people. Now let's talk about one of the biggest measures in the budget, the sugary drinks levy. The government says it will raise about $10 billion by taxing sugary drinks. They say it is about public health. Nobody is saying sugar consumption is not a real issue, but Julian Robinson raised a very important question. If this is really about health, why not require the manufacturers to reduce the sugar content in the drinks, right? Because that option really exists. Other countries have done exactly that. Instead, the government chose a tax, and that creates a contradiction, because if the tax works and people buy less sugary drinks, then how does the government collect the $10 billion it says it needs? So what are they really counting on? That Jamaicans will keep buying the drinks just at a higher price with the same sugar content. And who is most likely to fall for that increase? Poorer Jamaicans, working class Jamaicans, the people buying what they can get the cheapest on the shelves, the bag juice, the box juice, the drinks, the soda. So let's be honest about this. You cannot say it is about health while budgeting for people to stay unhealthy. There's also this environmental levy. It sounds responsible. It sounds noble, but the issue raised in the presentation is that the money does not go directly to the environment's protection. It goes into the consolidated fund, government big pool. So that is government taxing people, saying it's for the environment, but the money is not specifically reserved for environmental protection. And once again, consumers are the ones who will likely pay through higher prices. So once again, the government collects the revenue and ordinary Jamaicans feel the pressure. Next is the digital services taxes. Many people thought this tax would apply mainly to streaming services like Netflix or Spotify. But based on the minister's explanation, it may also affect purchases from sites like Amazon, Temu, or Shein. And that creates a major contradiction, because just 2 years ago, the government expanded duty-free relief on online purchases to help consumers. And it appears a new tax may now reverse that relief. So you give it one hand and then you take it back with the next one. And there are still basic questions like, how will this be collected? Who pays it? How will it work across thousands of overseas transactions? This look like I miss a take it back.
Take it back. Mr. Take it back. Hear him.
Comes to 15-year-old fiscal discipline. PNP, you are not the father.
And when it comes to taking care of the Jamaican people and putting their best interests first at hand, and Joelness, you are not the father, a bumbleclad.
Argument done, a bumbleclad. Argument done. Anyway, hear him, you know. Hear him.
You know what is the root of our problems today? Finsac was a homegrown domestic crisis wholly caused by...
And there was a massive fraud going on in there. Nigel Clark was Minister of Finance. When the report come to his office about the problems, him put the report in a cupboard and forget about it.
Come on, big up everybody who check in.
Andrew Onus had money in there. And Andrew Onus take out his money before the thing collapsed. And leave Bolt and others to suffer the massive losses of, in his case, millions and millions of hard-earned US dollars that he raised through his exploits on the track to bring glory to Jamaica. Well, I'm here to tell you that when we form government, no stone will be left unturned to chase down that money for Mr. Bolt and the others. No stone will be left unturned. This lackadaisical approach, dragging the thing out, we can't get any information. We want the reports. We want the Crow reports to see what has happened. And there must be a commission of inquiry into the regulatory failures that would allow an institution like that, licensed to deal in securities and manage people's money.
We need the Crow report.
Operating for years, carrying out such massive fraud, and the regulator let them go ahead and let them go ahead until it was too late. We are going to get to the bottom of it because we respect the people involved who have put their money in Jamaica, and to the diaspora and others overseas. We need to send the signal that we take it seriously. And that Jamaica is a place where you can come and invest your money. And this government is letting the people down and letting the side down. And it is a disgrace.
All right, Jamaican people. If you don't hear nobody from the Dirty Bungle Party mention nothing about Finsac, tell them to release the Crow report. Because them go investigate about who them know say Sayag and all of them fuck it up. That is why they not release it. Anyway, moving on.
Guarantee can you give under your administration that Jamaica will never see history repeating itself, and how do you intend to honor that guarantee?
If they mention nothing about
Well,
Finsac,
what we have to ensure is that the agencies that have responsibility for managing and regulating the financial services sector are actually manned by individuals who are competent and professional. The Bank of Jamaica, the Financial Services Commission. Ensuring the BOJ now is an independent agency that has the responsibility for managing interest rates and primarily inflation. At the time when Finsac took place, the government intervened to ensure that all depositors got back their money. What we want to see is the Finsac report published.
okay.
The country spent $150 million on a Finsac commission, and all now we can't get the report. We want the Finsac report out. And while you're at it, we will publish the SSL report because we know
your blood clot, you look on Phil Bad Williams and you look on Mad Gallo by the other side there. We need the Crow report. We need the Crow report to make Andrew open and think about and mention nothing about no Finsac. We need the Crow report. Our tax money pay for that blood clot. Andrew, honest, you need to release the Crow report. You think of your money, you think of money when the thief pay for it. A taxpayer money, we need the blood clot Crow report. We don't go and listen. If they never mention nothing about no Finsac, you say, we don't use it and lick them in their mouth and tell them to release the blood clot Crow report.
notice that depositors have gotten $2. If them did have $100 and there's only $2 them get back. But the most honorable Prime Minister got all his money out of SSL before it collapsed. That is what justice means. We will publish the SSL report, and it is a failure on their part that after all these years, given the impact of Finsac, that there is no report, no independent report. What we have seen...
And every chance a big nose bumble Prime Minister get, him a come talk about. You remember Finsac released a blood clot core report. Every good chance, you remember Finsac your bumble clot released the core report at that, remember?
Is drips and drabs being leaked out by that side. So when we talk about Finsac, let's get all the facts on the table and release the Kroll report from
Release it, Bumbuckland. Release the Kroll report. We demand the Kroll report to get released. Anyway, we're moving on, innit? All right, listen up, piece here.
Up first this evening, the United States Law Enforcement Agency, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, FBI, and other international partners have been called in to probe the multi-million-dollar fraud scheme at Stocks and Securities Limited, SSL. The finance minister made the revelation today, even as he announced a raft of regulatory changes, which include giving oversight responsibilities to the Bank of Jamaica. Now, we'll have all that in a moment. But first, Andrea Chisholm is here to tell us what the minister had to say about the SSL fraud. Andrea?
Well, Herman, there is so much to unpack from this highly anticipated press conference. First of all, Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark indicated that the fraud at Stocks and Securities Limited, SSL, is estimated so far to be over $2 billion. He said it is the largest securities fraud by a dealer since the inception of the Financial Services Commission, FSC.
Since independent, one of the biggest fraud ever take place on the island since independent.
22 years ago. It targeted not only sprint legend Usain Bolt, but a number of elderly persons.
This is a body blow to Jamaica and has the unfortunate impact of tarnishing Jamaica's
just read that blood clot, read that. The government block for release SSL core report because them find out said, hey, if they ever mention nothing about no Finsac, gonna thump them in their mouth and tell them to release the core report. Bumbo clot, dirty big nose and journalist, see them block it. Because him get involved in the corruption. See him block it there, the government block it. The government block release of SSL Kroll audit. Oh no, look.
A body blow not only because the funds were stolen, but also because of the embarrassment and implications for the country. Dr. Nigel Clark admits that Jamaica has a poor track record in prosecuting financial crimes, and on this occasion, there's no room for error.
With external auditors, regulators, managers, bankers, and later internal auditors, how did this fraud go undetected for 13 years? I put it to you that...
Maybe I show Darrell Vaz data and log as well. That is why I go undetected for so long. I just say. Because Anjones. Because remember Anjones are part of this thing, you know.
That is the central question. And it is a question that our government will ensure is answered.
I know you run with gun, and I know we can't get no answer. You run out, remember, you know, you are part of this corruption too, Nigel Clark, and you run with gun, left with corruption on them, saying, I said like you're gone and left it. I said, still didn't know, either day you come back on the island, I don't know for what purpose of a vacation you can help out and journalists, but I like to know what is your visit, the purpose of your visit the other day you come on the island. Saying, I see him like you left everything, my boss. I see him say said way. And somebody I forgot prison because the man Crawford say one by one and somebody I got jail. So I want to release the Kroll report for Finsac and we want the Kroll report for SSL. I want to take no for answer because this shit bag a public servant. Because I'm a corruption while they know. Remember, you know, if there's nothing to hide, you know, this should have released to the public, you know. And when you say big dirty nose and Jones hold on pan and don't want to release it, you know say him in a corruption to him teeth. So tell him say don't open him think mouth and mention nothing about Finsac.
Magnitude of this fraud and the lines of inquiry being pursued, the Financial Investigations Division and the Fraud Squad have already, last week, sought assistance from the Federal Bureau of Investigations, the FBI, and other international partners. Today, I will write to our international partners who have traditionally provided support to the Financial Investigations Division and other law enforcement agencies to specifically request the assistance of international forensic auditors to help unravel this 13-year fraud so we can bring to justice all perpetrators and all co-conspirators.
While those investigations continue, another burning issue. I asked the minister if the stolen money at SSL was insured.
Listen to this.
SSL claimed to have fraud insurance to the tune
SSL claimed to have fraud insurance. How much money?
of $1 million.
That
Claim to have fraud insurance. Value $1 million.
That information was communicated to the FSC by letter. The finance minister made it clear the information is yet to be independently verified. What's clear, though, is that there are 38 licensed security dealers in Jamaica with a combined total of over $1.4 trillion in assets under management as at September 30, 2022. SSL had a little over 2% of the amount. That's over $28 billion.
SSL was a relatively small securities dealer, and its problems do not pose a systemic risk to the financial system.
Of course.
There is therefore no need to panic.
Of course there's need to panic.
The financial sector is strong.
See man the tick down in the car, see blood clot thief a tick down there now. See fucking thief a tick down in the car and on his cell phone with laptop in a lap. What you mean so there's no need to panic? Jamaica have to panic until they get out of bridge out of Parliament. Jamaica have to panic. Let's see how we try this.
Police use car scandal, FLA scandal, $8 million phone bill scandal, $9 million travel scandal at TPD. The government have more scandal in it than Riverton City have scandal back. And then we have this super scandal, the Petroton scandal. That one have everything in it. Friends of the government collecting money for travel, but not traveling. Friends of the government getting jobs at 3 times the pay that the previous occupants of the job had. While at the same time, long-serving, loyal, patriotic civil servants being fired from jobs. Friends of the government and activists for the JLP getting jobs in organizations for which they don't have qualification. Friends being awarded contracts by breaking the procurement rules, and some of those friends is the same people that turn up in the bushing scandal. Never in our history have we heard of a government entering into verbal contracts, no paper, no sign, just word of mouth. $23 million. What madness is this going on in our country, Africa? Thank God for the opposition in Parliament. Thank God for the PAAC and the PNP members and the PAAC.
Hey, my general, it get worse. My general, it get worse. When I say get worse, it get worse. But it's like you just done talk, my general. I'm going to remind you, look, dirty bungle labor right them something. I'm going to listen to this.
team, which spent 2 weeks in Jamaica in respect of the third review under the current economic program, has given the island the thumbs up regarding agreed performance targets. Now here's IMF's mission chief to Kingston, Jan Keys Martin, at a media briefing February 13, 2014.
Overall policy implementation under the program remains strong. All quantitative targets and indicative targets for end December were met, including the floor on social spending. All structural benchmarks under the program have also been met thus far. Provided that performance remains strong, board consideration of the third review of the program could take place towards the end of March. And upon approval, about $71 million would be made available to Jamaica.
Both Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips and the IMF's mission chief to Jamaica, Jan Keys Martin, noted the challenges ahead and that the focus has to be on ensuring that the gains are not reversed and that economic growth has to get priority.
We see the next phase of the program as one of consolidating gains that have been thus far achieved. Consequently, with continued support of the multilateral partners, we will be pursuing major reforms in public sector financial management and overall public sector modernization, fiscal rule, omnibus banking reforms, to the securities dealers, reforms to the securities dealers sector, for which work is well advanced. The government of Jamaica believes that consideration must be given to the pace of reforms going forward, given the significant constraints on institutional capacity. Further, given the extensive nature of these reforms, time must be allowed for full discussion by all stakeholders in the national environment. The reduction in the debt remains the foremost objective of the program, and indeed will be a significant contributor, not only to the build-up of confidence, but to growth itself.
Martin reinforced the priority on growth.
For 2014 and beyond, the critical challenges remain to support economic growth while continuing to undertake the necessary fiscal adjustment. Key elements of the authorities' updated program include actions to promote growth by improving competitiveness and the business climate and pursuing strategic investments. This is supported in particular by the World Bank and the Inter-American Development Bank. Priority reforms will include putting the process for business registration that has recently been streamlined through the Superform online. Furthermore, efforts to streamline the development application process and to put in place a tracking system for that process. Then there are projects to reduce the cost of electricity, reforms to enhance access to credit, and to make labor markets more flexible. On the fiscal side, there are next steps for tax policy reform. And beyond that, we have put a greater focus on modernizing tax and customs administration. With a stronger large taxpayers office, improved IT systems, better performance measurement, and actions to lower the cost of compliance for taxpayers, as well as actions for trade facilitation. The establishment of an effective fiscal rule to enhance fiscal transparency and lock in the gains from fiscal consolidation is another important element of the program. The aim is to limit annual budget deficits of the public sector in order to achieve a reduction in public debt to no more than 60% of GDP over the longer term, and to control fiscal risks.
That's your wealth for this week.
That's your wealth for this week. And we're going to find some more and share with you now. Seeing? It's like when we down in the part there, I gonna touch somewhere. I feel like I'm gonna go right here, so. I'm gonna go right here, so.
Who know me know that I don't carry a grudge. I don't carry a grudge. But I'm human. So of course, I shook my head in disgust at what was being said and what was being done. And I was also disappointed in Peter Phillips, a man who I had great respect for, someone who I had a very good...
Just 3 months till you say, if you tell the nation how you come by your house, you're disappointed in a man. 3 months until you say, you need to declare how you come by your house to the Jamaican taxpayer. That make you vex with Peter Phillips. Well, listen some more.
Relationship with his family and his children and his grandchildren. I know his son Michael fairly well, and I know Michael's children fairly well. They used to go to school with my children. So when I saw this kind of personal attack about me building a house in Beverly Hills and where I got the money from,
Andrew, remember say I know you still can't tell how you come by the money there to build a house there. All till today there, you still can't tell me how you come by the money. So it make me beg me for ask you quick. How much drugs money you build a house there? That's it, as so much secret how you come by that money for build a house. I must drugs money, either drugs money, gun money, or some illegal farmer money. Only way you can keep some more secret on that. Remember, I know you still not tell the nation how you come by the house there. And we have a blood clot now, you know. Because you're a public servant. You're not Dan Boya. You was appointed to the office. Remember, the government never start with Andrew, dirty bungle wholeness. I never you start the government in Jamaica, you know, say make it look like you come for stay. You need to tell you, or you all know you still can't tell me, or you come by the house. And so Peter Phillips question to vex with him. You vex with him. Well, listen some more.
I was really taken aback because, I was never one to be involved in anything untoward. So I just thought that
Andrew, for you enter politics, you're a thief. For you enter politics, you're a thief. You're born a thief. You're christening a thief. Sometimes I wonder if I must back a shop they make you. I must back a one shop they make you. I'm so back a some old building then gonna make you, you know. Cause you know come like you know make out of love. You look like you make out a quickie.
Was on coming of him because I
held
him in a higher order of esteem. And I think he has disappointed me and let me down personally.
I mean,
in terms of his behavior. It shows a kind of desperation and power hungriness that Jamaica...
You see who desperate and power hungry, my boss? To remember, you know, from how long I talk about desperate and power hungry. And your desperation and the power hungriness where you have make you end up with 28 bank account and on your way to prison. You come and come chat off your blood clot mouth. But you vex with the man. She man say, yo, you don't need to tell the country where you come by your house. You vex over that. I spend thieving money and nobody asks about it. Oh, want to listen to some more of that thing here.
Was not needed at this time. We decided to do what was more...
You're the liar.
What made sense. So with all these stones, we built walls, which makes sense. And some of the figures I've heard bandied about, ridiculous, because when you come to think of it, 90% of the cost of the stone wall is the excavation first and the stones.
Andrew, we're not blood clot either. 90% of the stone wall couldn't come from the excavation because it be a milestone them there. And the stone wall around here are some decent, nice cut stone, expensive cut stone. And be a milestone upon that place where they. But 90% of the stone come from excavation. I must out of your nose. Must out of your nose. I couldn't offer the property. You need to tell we all Peter Phillips to ask about this how long. So till 18 degrees not talk about it. So till in the IC, the Integrity Commission, same way come and talk about it. And I know you can't tell where you come by this a blood clot house. I must drugs money and gun money you use below house. I have a drugs money, I gun money, you build a house. Yeah. Look how much years you can't tell me. You must see things here, so it all go.
No, I had to excavate anyway. And when I excavate, I got stones. So the cost of the wall is minimal. Cements to join the stones. You know, cement, sand and gravel to join the stone. That's it. And I think that managing the project ourselves.
With a deck in here, cement, sand and gravel. I wish part cement and gravel and sand build stone wall. Eh? Unless a box and cast my box and cast it. Eh? What kind of fuckery my chat? And this is him a liar. How can you mix up cement and gravel and sand if you go make stone wall? Eh? When the stone them cut and have to lay a particular way. Eh? You say you want soft mortar like where they use the rough cast. You want mortar like where they use the rough cast in. For lay the stone them. The man I go say sand, stone and gravel for lay stone wall. Eh? Two and line up. Eh? The man says sand and gravel and cement for join the stone together. I must hit them join on nose with. And they on your mind. Which part ever here says stone wall I build with sand, cement and gravel? If I don't want to call them, I go put a gate or something. Then box and cast up and call and get the stone wall go to it. Which part ever says sand and gravel and cement build stone wall? In a which country? Which part? Not in a Jamaica. Not no way in a Jamaica. Stone wall build like that. No way in a Jamaica, Anjo. Stone wall build like that. So as for a long time you lied. You tell us so unnecessary lie. Eh? What is a lie? This a lie never call for, you know? Sand, cement and gravel. Why you so lie that you have to tell all unnecessary lie? Eh? Where that man come from, though, God? Oh, this is some more that thing, yeah.
Saved a lot of cost. People don't know this, but, you know, I actually laid some of the stones. I spent in the early time some, you know, supervising the work. My wife was there most of the time.
And just say him lay some of the stone. Half the stone here lay. Because from the moment you go collect money from Canada and America, you start lay for stone. I must say hard bung then give you. So you think a stone. Eh? Boy, you lay stone. Eh? Which part of you lay stone?
It was very interesting. It made me, you see me losing a lot of weight and looking slim, and a lot of that was...
And that make you lose the weight. I show your teeth left, right and center, and your brain busy if you make up a lie them for tell. So you weigh you down. A lie make you maga so. But through you graduate from the lie university, you immune to lie till you come now with you know. So you just talk life, you just use lie as a regular speech. Lie become a normal thing for you know, like you just lie so till everything come out, you just lie.
Was actually walking up and down the hill and supervising and mixing concrete, and you know, people don't know this either, that
which part on the stone wall you put the concrete, my boss? So yeah, as a book and say context matter. Somebody like I tell the people and which part of the stone wall you put the concrete. I like for really know.
You know, I did woodwork at school as my technical subject, so I have a little knowledge of carpentry, and I found it a great relaxation.
Blight that is upon us now.
Listen to this.
And this blight is the blight of poor governance. Literally, there has been a rape, a theft of public resources that has been going on from the very first months of this Jamaica Labour Party.
Wanna hear this?
And just this week.
So, this Jamaica Labour Party, you know, from the first month, then take government and start thief. See, Peter Phillips will tell you, and you know, stop it get worse. Listen.
In the actions of the Prime Minister and the government, we have seen once again what can only be described as contempt as the
Winnie, where are these? Big up yourself, you know, Winnie. Skip, monsieur.
The Prime Minister indicated that in effect the only sanction that he's applied to the minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation is to adjust his portfolio responsibilities. With the greatest of respect to the Prime Minister and to everyone else, the change in portfolio responsibilities cannot be perceived as a sanction. Prime Ministers change ministers' portfolios all the while. It is not a penalty for anything. But what is particularly reflective of this disdain for the public is that there is absolutely no sanction being imposed on a minister who has been involved, first of all, in the bushing scandal, and that after we have had as a country, after his government, the Jamaica Labour Party government, has had the petrogram, mother of all scandals, after we have had the Nessal scandal, after we have had the scandal at the Caribbean Maritime University, after we are seeing now the continuation of that approach at the St. Anne Municipal Corporation, where the mayor is not only setting up electrical charge station for himself, but as reported in the newspapers this morning, there is an issue of the theft of the misuse of government lands for a personal private corporation. And the only comment the Prime Minister seeks to make against this background is that he took account of these changes.
So the Prime Minister alone, him alone will grow and thief will land. When him a thief it is okay. We don't go and listen.
It is a blot on Jamaica. It reflects a view that the people have, that the entire purpose of the government is to take the public's funds and to use the powers of government as if they are the personal domain.
You don't hear how long Peter Phillips are warning about this a pussy, yeah? You don't hear how long Peter Phillips are warning about this a boy, yeah?
Personal property to be exercised for the personal benefit of the Jamaica Labour Party, and it is not acceptable to the People's National Party, and we are going to continue to operate on the basis that sanctions must be applied. This minister was not only named in the problem with bushing, but was named in relation to the disgraceful sale of Jamaican people's assets in Ocho-Rios, the rooms, hotel scandal. And then now he's named again.
This a bumbo clock Labour Right Party government. Them plan to sell out everything we owned by Jamaican. Every asset we have, then that are the ulterior motive to sell off, for sell off it. Every single asset we have. I hate them want to sell off. When they don't sell off, then divest it to them friend. Oh no, hey, this them a people have to lift up. And we're not joke.
Scandal. He indicated that if he did not get back his visa, he would resign. There has been no resignation.
Resign where?
The Prime Minister.
After the pussy look up in the ceiling on a ball for how much money for him visa, you know, my general. The man come now and thief how much money, get some bus for $1. In thief the money sure for him and Andrew Wellness. Can you say if you don't get him in, you don't get Andrew. And him and Andrew again, you know. Thief one portion of money claims to the lend JPS and a thief it to them thief money. Darrell Vaza and Jonas. Eh? Darrell Vaza, if you get him, you get Andrew. So you told them a partner in crime in this blood clot. I told them thief money and talk about then lend JPS. Eh? Because then you don't extend their license. Then you don't free up JPS, but then do them thing and go look their money themselves. But then can't see money come, remember, you know. Them have to find means and way to thief the money, you know. Truly know we are watch them. Mark go in and watch them. So them sign a deal with JPS to say, we are going to tell Jamaican people say, we are lending the money, but a thief, we are going to thief, you know. And we are going to do, that they pussy them though. A long time, Peter Finsac tell about them. Darrell Vaza and Andrew collude together. And going apart and going and dealing with JPS and say, I'm going to tell Jamaican, me are lending the money, but a thief, we are thief if it's true, you know. And we are going to extend the license under phone terms and conditions. And that go on. Look how long them I want about them a pussy here. I know you said that today.
Cannot decide. Jamaica needs to know if an investigation has been carried out.
We not gonna know. Juliet turn up on the crow report up on yard with him big dirty foot. And Andrew Wallace a black the SSL crow report with him big dirty nose. So one of them big foot a cover one and one of the big nose a cover one.
To know what would be the results of that investigation. Jamaica needs to hear from the Prime Minister of the country.
We not hear none. Only thing must say my boss say we bad man. Only thing must say we bad man, we bad man, we bad man. And him pussy clot bad man. Because we are pay him hold by money and he's still a thief. And who bad man who? Eh? I walk around the country in a jacket and tie every blood clot there. And a thief away and I turn around and I say we bad man. What a wicked pussy man. Eh? Look how much money we have paid the bumble hole. And we catch him a thief and I talk about it. Hit them and talk about we bad man. And who bad man who? Eh? And who bad man who? Eh? Andrew, you are the bad man. Are you buying the bad man pussy? If you never know. We are pay you big money instead of thief. You get all charity money and thief. And who bad man who? You scam all people to then charity blood clot money. Go take you buy stocks and bonds and come talk about we bad man. You need to tell where you come by the big house on the hill. Peter Phillips talk about it and say Peter Phillips power hungry and desperate. And now you power hungry and desperate, you know, and got blood clot prison. Eh? You pay for them chip out Digicel and Flow for thief Paul Buchanan seat. Eh? I hope power hungry and desperate. Bogus Prime Minister, you don't win a seat. I hope dirty bungle Prime Minister, you poor hungry and desperate. You poor hungry and desperate till you have a thief your seat. The people them vote out and now want to see you. And to your blood clot, poor hungry and desperate. You thief for your seat. Eh? What kind of man this man?
What standards he's going to apply? This
he don't have no standard. He don't have no standard, my automatic. He don't have no standard, my automatic. Trump just put him in a drive and say, go on. Automatic, Trump just put him in a drive and say, go on. My boss in a no standard.
Place after one minister has had to resign from the Ministry of Energy, and there was a defense same way. Another minister has been charged and is before the courts. This can't go so. Them man are different.
One bunch of thieves. Them man are different for sure, man. Them man are different. And they have the audacity to talk about corruption and this and them man, that's all different sort of people, them man. Alright. You hear Peter Phillips just talk about bushing scandal. We're going to dig deep into this bushing scandal.
Our show with Jamaica's newest Prime Minister, Andrew Holness. During the 2016 general elections, his house became front and center. The public, and perhaps more so, the ruling people's now.
Let me start it back. Honestly, when I say Andrew wants to step on your phone, look while I find by SSL building, I empty account in my call for down bank for TV money, you know. I want to take a look again.
We begin our show with Jamaica's newest Prime Minister, Andrew Holness. During the 2016 general elections, his house became front and center. The public, and perhaps more so the ruling People's National Party, they wanted to know why a St. Lucian company owned his house and where he got the money. since news reports had put its value at about $2 million, a figure Honus has not confirmed. After all, Honus had been a politician most of his professional life. He'd come from money, and his salary at the time was just over $60,000 each year, not counting allowances. Honus answered several of the questions asked, but we at 18 Degrees North had others. What we found was an interesting series of property purchases and an uneven playing field when it comes to personal tax matters. It also shed light on the relationship between Jamaican politicians and their associates in the awarding of public contracts. We're staying right here in Jamaica.
The Labour Party believe that every poor man must build his castle. Every poor man must build him big house. And we not grudge you for it. We are going to help you to achieve that. That is why we say education for free, health for free, and we must make the place secure so you can live and enjoy yourself.
This is the house, built on 3/4 of an acre, complete with stone-cut wall, in the exclusive Beverly Hills neighborhood just outside Kingston. It's a huge upgrade from where Jamaica's newest Prime Minister and then opposition leader Andrew Honus says he was born.
I was born in a 2-bedroom board house at 56 Cumberland Road in a Spanish town.
So you're so blood clot bad man. You're born in a 2-room board. Oh, you're so bumbo clot bad man. And you not come from Norway. Eh? How you so bad man and you not come from? How you so liquor? So you so bad man and thief and you not come from Norway. Eh? You never make your mother proud. You have to just come build this blood clot high level criminal in our country. Look where your 2-room board house, 56 Cumberland Road, and some blood clot thief. And gone and burn and lodge and lick down house. And they on a land grabbing in a bumbo clot country. How you so pussy old thief?
My father is still a farmer, and my mother is a retired civil servant.
Property records showed the Beverly Hills land was purchased by St. Lucian-based company AdMat Incorporated for $300,000 in 2011, 3 months before Honus became Prime Minister of Jamaica for the first time, and when he was Minister of Education. There's no mortgage listed. In a statement, Honus says he's the sole director of AdMat and a shareholder, along with his 2 sons, Adam and Matthew. Honus says he got the money from funds in his accounts at 2 of Jamaica's investment banks and used his savings, salary, loans and credit from suppliers established through his wife, who is a real estate developer, to build the house, costing him approximately $52 million, or around $525,000 US. He says the St. Lucian structure was used for estate planning. His attorney, Patrick Bailey, says there's that, and the additional potential benefit of avoiding transfer taxes.
If the house at Beverly Hills is the only asset.
This a pussy I want to lie now, you know. Patrick Bailey, you know. Hey, although Andrew Honus train him or him train Andrew Honus, but this a boy a lie, you know. This a boy, you know, Robert Garvin, you know. Robert Garvin, you know. And Robert Garvin set up dummy company a film address, you know. So, one time I say, Integrity Commission spot on with all of them findings. Because I remember one time Zara Burton released this, you know. The big nose Stephen boy, you know. Make sure I take it down off of TV, you know. And I talk about lawsuit, you know. And Zara Burton win him in a court about this, you know. You know? Zara Burton win him in a court. And then I put in at the media down there, you know. You never know, so Zara Burton win the court case against against him finding where we should find the finding here. Zara Burton win the case, the court case against Andrew Honus with this finding. So if so could Dennis Chink thinks he can free Andrew Honus, saying fuck, because a lot of the Integrity Commission finding and some of Zara Burton finding, them are the same thing. Them are the same thing. As him did I say a lie. I remember him did I say a lie, Zara Burton, I tell you now. And Zara Burton win the dirty fucker in a court and never keep you in a quiet. You never know. Zara Burton win the fucker in a court over this said case. You listen to the case. And then on the show say, Dennis Chink can never blood clot certify the thieving boy. Dennis Chink can never, FID can never certify Dirty Bunger Andrew Holness. Andrew Dirty Bunger Holness. The FID cannot certify that thief in boy because the IC and Zara Burton come up with similar finding and them are two different, they don't know each other. And then go about do the investigation different way and come up with similar finding. So if so could Dennis Chink things they can't free Dirty Bunger Andrew Holness then sick.
And he was selling it. He would simply sell the company, sell the shares. The company would have its shareholding transferred from him and his children to the new purchasers, whereas the title would remain unchanged because the new purchaser will be the owners of ADMAT and be the owners of the property. So in that case, there's no transfer from one entity to another. So you're safe on transfer tax and stamp duties and those sorts of things.
Civil society activist Carol Narcisse says the leader of the country shouldn't be trying to avoid taxes.
Especially if you're a prime minister and you're telling your citizens.
When I hear them a fuckery, the same Dirty Bunger Andrew Michael Holness, you know, avoid tax, you know, and a tax Jamaican people now. What a blood clot drunker like this, eh? Him himself avoid tax. After one tornado, when PMF come in Jamaica, him want tax Jamaican people. The people them were in our help. The people them were still asleep at door. This pussy waller but don't want to pay tax. Him himself don't want to pay tax. And a tax. You know listen to this blood clot. That is, hey, you know listen to this. We not ease him up, you know. He might figure a blood clot prison when we're done with him. Think we want to ease him up?
You need to conform to the regulatory environment that you have designed, that you do not think you can adhere to.
You don't hear them
because it is
fucking
inimical to
Andrew,
your interest to adhere.
take your ass out of the pot. Don't go back in there. Don't go back in our blood clot parliament. Don't go back in our parliament. It's a disgraceful bumbo. Don't go back in our parliament. You don't fit to go in our blood clot parliament. You should have done a look at 6x4 cell. 20 blood clot for 4 hours security. Watch your bumbo hole. Don't go back in our parliament. You know nothing about just move your pussy and go. Don't go back in our parliament. Come out of our blood clot parliament and go. The people them fire you the 3rd of September and you still file back your winner. Come out of our blood clot parliament and go.
Adhere to it, or inimical to the interest of your children's future to adhere to it, then there is a major, there's a major inconsistency there that you need to explain.
Does he own other entities in there, in ADMAT?
In ADMAT?
Yeah.
I think he has at least one other property in ADMAT.
And where is that?
That is in somewhere in the Arcadia area. Right.
And that's considered land or also?
No, it's an apartment. Actually, he's now in the process of selling that unit. He owes suppliers, because suppliers gave him credit for the house he's building in Beverly Hills.
And source of funds for that was what?
That one, I can't recall all of those details, but I seem to remember that he has always used the house that he lives in and get loans and that sort of thing.
We checked the title for the property where Bailey says both Honus and his wife lived at the time of our interview and found no additional loans or mortgages other than those originally taken out in 2002 when they bought the house for $7 million Jamaican dollars, around $144,000 US back then. So you were satisfied then with the source of the funds in both cases?
Oh, absolutely. He saved in US stocks and amongst his portfolio. So he was saving, because these are savings.
Is that savings from him alone or him and his wife?
I don't know that level of personal detail. That would be. Yeah, I don't know that level
of what you know. Is there any evidence?
I know of nothing. I know of nothing else that he
listen to the conversation
in relation to ADMAT. Okay. He currently owns rather.
We checked the title for the Acadia property and found that it was indeed purchased by the same St. Lucian company, ADMAT Incorporated, in 2008, again when Honus was Minister of Education.
Andrew must get barred from going to our parliament, you know. I have to serious with it now, you know. Andrew have to get barred from going our parliament. We have a serious now. Like real see no chattings. Andrew must get barred from enter the parliament. Or not take out the mace from out of the parliament. Parliament after this, we not continue with this boy. Andrew Holness, Andrew Dirty Bungle, Michael Holness must get barred from the parliament. And we're serious. Him forget barred from the parliament. Dirty Bungle, Andrew Dirty Bungle, Holness forget barred from the parliament. That guy not supposed to that version forget lock up, you know. Andrew forget lock up, you know. There more the amount of evidence that they lock up Andrew Holness. Whole heap of things that they lock up Andrew Holness. But he need to get barred from the parliament. He didn't have to take out the mace or something, but we not content with this boy. Appointing to the office the 2 first term. Me can give me 2, but that time and can never link with Glassford Brown. You see all your drunk? Glasspole Brown. What make you name Glasspole Brown? I must say pan pole them get you. And then just name you off of the pole. Eh? You want next drunker to you know shit bag. Eh? But the thing say, I'm telling you this. Not even a dog will piss on the wall of Babylon shall escape the rat. Glassford Brown that go for Glasspole. The man must have a pole that to get a name like that. Eh? Glasspole Brown. Not even a dog that piss on the wall of Babylon, my brother, shall escape the rat. It is alleged. See, your wife come and work on a boat, say, at first she ever see so much money. Allegedly. Allegedly. There's we're talking in the social media space, say, it is alleged that the wife say, she see money like a goat shit in a goat pen. But do remember, say, real read and fame wife going to go to prison. Just remember that. Real read and fame wife and then way to prison. And just like how they sentence Noel Maitland and get fame case over with, we know in this back and forth the real read and fame lawyer. This thing for got trial now. No say go. We don't know back and forth with real read. Real read is either argue up Andrew and say yeah alone take a pinch. But we know this back and forth with you, my brother. And we serious. We want to see politicians start get locked up now, you know. 2026, we want to see politicians in prison, you know. 2026 stuff is done, you know. And politicians in prison, you know. But what you deal with? 2026 stuff is done. And politicians in prison. We'll go and listen to some more of this. And remember, the Integrity Commission report and Zara Burton report come up with similar finding. So no care what Andrew Holness and them want to say. And remember, Zara Burton did win Andrew Holness over this same report here. Because Andrew Holness said that's a lie she tell. And then got a court and she win. And the local media in Jamaica keep it under the carpet. Because they don't want the Jamaican people know that Zara Burton did win the big nose, Dirty Bungle, Andrew Holness on this case here. Unless it's some more. And I'm going to say, hey, if lawyers are fool like Patrick Bailey, me could have been one I want. Me could have been a top lawyer in Jamaica. Because I sure know. Me no fool like this guy. Listen to this.
The price tag, 16 million Jamaican dollars, around 219,000 US back then, and again, no mortgage was listed. Further, we also checked whether ADMAT owned additional properties and found one more. A half-acre lot, also built in Beverly Hills on Wycliffe Close in February 2009, also when Holness was Minister of Education, price tag around 15 million Jamaican dollars, almost 173,000 US dollars, and again, no mortgage listed.
So you've never heard of this Wycliffe Close property before today?
Let me put it this way. I have never handled. And when I look at the transfer, I see the names of lawyers who I know.
And you see, she say, if you ever heard about this property, hear the clown. Let I put it this way. I never handle. She never asked if I handle nothing, you know. She say if you ever heard about the property before. So if them are idiot and no a liar, if them are idiot and Andrew is liar, Andrew better you come hire me. How much million Isaac say my work for? Much Isaac say my work for? 80 million. I work for 75 million, Andrew, but 5 million cheaper than Isaac.
And he's entitled.
Listen to this clown here. Hey.
We all have to eat.
And that clown that give you Andrew on this, you know. The money Andrew on this have as in liar. And the money make give you Andrew on this. Andrew. I for house the man is dead, you know. I for house the man is dead, you know. I for house the owner text the man. I for house the man is dead, you know. I would really like to know. I for house the man is dead, you know. And all on the Turlang frequent that house too, you know. All on the Turlang frequent that house too. Because all on the Turlang and this guy here is very close, you know. Then closer than Clothespin, you know. All on the Turlang and this guy closer and Clothespin. And the brethren were dead in the house. Then they want to say, I want to look at nobody. But the man was a man who have look at change. But it was a love triangle, you know. You never know it's a love triangle. A cheating affair going in the house. That is why they have to cover it up because of batty business. I don't know if the man did if a woman role in play or a man role in play, but some cheating go on and somebody never did take it so easy. So then kill him in the house. And then put this virgin up on house bed rest and sick. Then I say sick. Eh? And all the man murder committed in the house and don't come out of it. Boy, them are sitting there. This got to be a movie. I would, Andrew, I want you to tell with the name of this movie we are going to Jamaica, you know. Because it is not 1 p.m. This movie we are going to Jamaica, my boss, it is not 1 p.m. and this guy give you Andrew honest. This guy, and him give you. So you have to give him back, you know, because remember some murder go on in the house. And this guy give you. And when you listen for yourself, and you see this guy give you Andrew honest. Listen.
So all told, when it comes to properties, there's the Great House Boulevard home that Honus and his wife bought with a mortgage while Honus was a mere member of Parliament. And in the 4 years he was Minister of Education, earning the equivalent of around $60,000 per year or $90,000 with allowances, there was the Arcadia apartment, no mortgage listed. The land at Waycliffe Close in Beverly Hills, no mortgage listed. The land for the Shenstone Beverly Hills house he's building, no mortgage listed. And around 525...
No mortgage listed, you know. And Jonas can't tell you and come buy this thing. I have to drugs money. No loan, nothing at all. I look a man, when wife I keep fish fry, reception. In Bigfoot wife, I keep fish fry reception. Who a student loan? Do this type of purchase without no loan?
No borrow loan.
A drugs money they use and buy this a place here. I don't believe so. I think they are drugs money. I hear a lot of things. I hear a lot of things about the family there. I have a strong feeling of drugs money. Drugs money. One of them people there for a Mexico game. One of them Mexico link give them this a drugs money. If you turn Jamaica and I want drugs hub. Or if Jamaica turn the highway for the drugs. One of the houses a gift from the Jamaica, the Mexican cartel. One of the houses a gift from the drugs Mexican cartel. To make Jamaica become the highway for the drugs. But just I say, you know, because this house is so mysterious. We can't know how it come about. One if this is a gift from the drug cartel in Mexico. Darrell Vaz, you know anything about Andrew Warren's house? You know if Andrew Warren's house is a gift from drugs cartel in Mexico? I just say, you know, because he can't tell when he come by. So we just speculate. We have to speculate. He might have to give an answer we ask him how long. Not true. If he want to stop speculating, he have to come with the truth. When he come by his house. One if it is a gift and he can't talk. Eh? One if it is a gift from drugs cartel. He must remember, you know, Mr. Drugs come and from his airport and Andrew Holness to talk about it. The Andrew Holness we me know. We talk about everything. Mr. Drugs, how much $1 million worth of drugs come at Ian Fleming's airport and Andrew Holness don't cough. Andrew Holness don't cough. And him want to be the face of everything in Jamaica. And how much drugs come at Ian Fleming's airport and the man silent as a lamb. Me have to wonder if they say 1 minute of silence. You know that you go dance and somebody drop out. And then I go play one and say, give me a minute of silence if he generally drop out. And Jones more than a minute of silence in give me. I'll know he's still up on silent, but the drugs come at Ian Fleming's airport. So me I wonder if his house is a drugs gift. That's him can't tell me. Wonder where Peter Phillips know. Because I remember Peter Phillips have talked about it, you know, and him gone in and feeling, say my human, say we catch bad mind. We want to know about the house there. What kind of gift that? Listen.
$1,000 spent building the house in the 3 years after Honus's Jamaica Labour Party lost the election in 2011. Honus, through a member of his team, said he wouldn't comment on the source of funds for any of his properties before the election, but even after, he did.
He not going to comment on source of funds to anyone on property till after the election. How much election gone already?
Exactly.
How much election gone already? And him not going to comment about source of funds until after the election. Which one election you attack, Andrew? Because maybe, I don't know if maybe I have this wrong. Andrew Michael Dirty Bungo Holness. Which one of the election you attack say you are going to make we know the source of funds? Which one of the election? Because 2 gone and your thief 1. So which one of them you attack? I don't understand what is going on. Andrew Holness say I'm going to make we know when you get the funds from. After the election. And all till the day, instead of keeps. Andrew, we not keep no secret. Yes, sir? We not keep no secret, to my boss. We are no secret dealings. We need to know the source of funds.
He also said he would make his financial statement public at the end of March 2016, but he didn't. Despite several calls to Juliet Honus, a property developer, chartered accountant, and newly elected member of Parliament, she didn't get back to us.
What about...
So Bigfoot Juliet, you so vocal in a Parliament, and somebody a ring up about this a critical matter here, and you take up your phone and respond. Where you hiding? You're hiding something. And true, you can't hide the lie. You remember one time Angela Brownberg say, the illicit 6 and how you get heated, you can't hide the lie. Juliet Holness, we know one time when you're in a problem because you can't hide it. Anyway, look at Andrew Holness inform up on the screen. This is the guy give Andrew Holness to the wider world and Jamaica say Andrew Holness a thief. Listen to this guy.
Property taxes.
No, man, he has to pay property tax.
At the time of our initial checks in the 2 weeks before the election, the house in Beverly Hills had an outstanding balance.
Somebody look what I say, Favor Williams. This is Favor Williams. I think she gone far back in the corruption in Andrew Holness, you know. I think the Favor Williams gone far back in a corruption in Andrew Holness. Remember, Andrew Holness is a corrupted man. And Favor Williams parts are tight from so long till now. And he have Favor Williams right on their arm like a roll-on. Feel-bad Williams have to corrupt. Feel-bad Williams have to be the same type of character like Andrew Dirty Bungo Holness. Only the Favor I him for, but look, watch.
Since 2013 on the tax administration's website. Amount about $174,000 or US $1,400 approximately. Property taxes on the Wycliffe Close land in Beverly Hills were listed as not having been paid since 2009, a total of about $175,000 or US around $1,400. And the Great House Boulevard home.
Welcome to the Prime Minister who don't like to pay tax. What a worthless guy. That is why I tell you, say, in him, Andrew Dirty Bungle Wholeness. Very worthless guy. Him no want to pay tax. Not the country where him had, boy, I don't know. Yo, this guy never go back in my blood class. Sorry for you bad word, I don't custom more first tonight. That guy never go back in our parliament. You know, I hear, sir, this guy never go back in our parliament. This guy forget bar from the building.
He owned with his wife Juliet, that was listed as outstanding since 2014, owing Jamaicans $64,000 or about $526 US. We call the tax administration to confirm. Volume is 1118.
Listen.
Andrew Onus?
Yeah.
The amount is $64,000 outstanding and $50 for 2 years.
All in.
2 years with a tax in who? 64,000 odd. The Prime Minister. The dirty bungle Benjamin see take down in the corner. Look on him. See him take down in the corner out there, so. That dirty bungle man there. His name Andrew Dirty Bungle Wholeness. He don't like to pay tax, and him is a thief. And one time he set up charity, and thief the money and buy stocks and bonds in personal self. So if you hear say Andrew Wholeness or anybody around him have no charity, you don't support it. All of the charity money I go to him personally. So when you hear them talk about not even wife and support it, you don't know if you support them what then charity. They want to create charity for thieves, scam people. Any charity the labor right them create is only for scam the diaspora. Because in Jamaica they set up if you get things from are people in the diaspora. So we're going to anytime we see labor right them put up charity, it's for scam people. They are scammer.
Honus or his entities were listed at the time as owing almost $413,000 Jamaican dollars, around $3,400 US. It wasn't clear if there were any amounts owing for the apartment at Arcadia Drive. Caroline Hay, former Deputy Director of Public Prosecution, says, in general, no leader should be backed up on their taxes. We did not ask her specifically about Honus.
No public official ought to be behind on their taxes. You are in a position when you're a public official in a position of trust, and one would imagine an example to the nation as to what values we want in positions of leadership.
Days after 18 Degrees North brought it to Honus's attention, and before the election, the tax administration's website reflected zero balances for the 2 Beverly Hills properties at Shenstone Drive and Wycliffe Close. However, taxes on the house he owns with his wife were still listed as owing as of our last check, March 18, 2016, even as he became Prime Minister of Jamaica for a second time. The property at Wycliffe Close in Beverly Hills remains an open lot today. As it turns out, the owner, Andrew Honus's ADMAT Incorporated, applied to the National Environmental Planning Agency to build townhouses in 2010, but that application was turned down. Representing ADMAT in this application was one Robert Garvin.
Robert Garvin is not a director in any way, shape or form of ADMAT.
No, man, he's not.
But why would Robert Garvin's name then appear on an application to the land development?
Because he's acting as agent, he's doing the process. Yeah. That's not unusual.
According to Company's Office records, Robert Garvin is or was a director of other entities affiliated with Andrew or Juliet Honus: Positive Jamaica Foundation Limited, Sunshine Mobile, West Central St. Andrew Trust Limited, Omega Bridge Finance, and the now removed Delito Taxi Service.
Who is Robert Garvin?
Garvin?
Robert Garvin.
Never met the name, never heard the name. But I do remember Positive. But I did set up Positive Jamaica, I remember that.
Right, but he's one. Yeah. Positive Jamaica is in part a director by Garvin.
I know he was a director of
and by the way, one more thing. What about the fact that Garvin used this address, 28 Herbert?
Listen.
Because this is my address. It's precisely what I'm saying. You're a 28 McKinley, you know?
I know, so why Robert Garvin use it and you...
Because we set up the company here. Garvin,
He say you don't know him, you never heard of him. Yeah, never, you know, remember
Robert
the name.
Garvin is also listed as the director
Him no
of
remember the
Western
name.
Construction,
I'm gonna set up
along with
one dummy company,
Donovan
a film
Simpson.
office. Him no
Garvin
address.
used the address
Him no
25
remember the
Dominica
name.
Drive while setting up Westcon, the same address he and Honus used when registering West Central St Andrew Trust Limited. Government records show Westcon Construction as receiving 14 government contracts, totaling 28.5 million Jamaican dollars.
Are the same contract when I hear Peter Phillips talk about. Are the same finding Zara Burton find out. The same thing when Peter Phillips did that address and I talk about. Zara Burton come find out about it too. And Peter Phillips tell Zara Burton and she do fair one investigation and buck up in this information. Go on, listen.
Or around $386,000. This was between 2006 and 2009, even as Honus or his wife shared directorships with Garvin on 4 entities. 12 of the 14 contracts were under the JLP government, with which Honus has a career-long affiliation. 9 of the 14 list 0 or only 1 tender. 10 of the 14 were granted by the Minister of Education when Andrew Honus was minister, and by the National Works Agency and Social Development Commission for work in Honus's constituency. Honus even instructed the Social Development Commission to pay Westcon Construction just under $1.5 million Jamaican dollars, or around US $21,000 back then. He signed the document himself. There was only one bidder for cleaning, bushing and trimming of the roadways in Honus's constituency of West Central St Andrew, and no procurement committee approval. Payment was requested by Honus December 20th, 2007, and paid promptly on the same day. When contacted in a general sense, the current Social Development Commission head, Dwayne Vernon, said, while not the norm, it is possible to have a request and payment on the same day, especially when there's a contract in place with stated payment dates. Vernon, who didn't address this contract specifically, also said the SDC does not procure for constituencies. This is the prerogative of the MP and his or her project officer. Civil society activist Carol Narcisse says awarding of government contracts in Jamaica has been a long-standing cause for concern.
When each side is in government, there are uncomfortable levels of awarding of contracts to persons who are either political supporters, campaign financiers, or other connected parties.
We asked Honus whether he declared his relationship with Garvin while contracts were being awarded to Westcon Construction, but he didn't get back to us. We called Garvin, but he said he couldn't talk at the time, and he didn't answer our text message. When contacted, Garvin's partner in Westcon Construction, Donovan Simpson, he tried to distance himself from the inner workings of the company.
I don't know where are these projects. I don't know how much were collected.
So you didn't benefit from these contracts, that's what you're saying?
No.
Even though his name is not on the filing, is Andrew Honus a part of this company?
No, not to my knowledge. No, man, he's not a part of it.
Do you know if Garvin is a friend of Andrew Honus?
Yes, yeah, man, they are friends. They are very close. So from the two of us are friends. It's what Andrew went in politics, you know. I met him at Siaga's office because Robert and Siaga were very close also, you know.
Okay.
So the first time I saw Andrew is when Robert invited me to the Siaga's office in New Kingston.
We searched, but could find no record of Honus declaring his relationship with Robert Garvin or Donovan Simpson, and the Office of the Contractor General would only say that we should request an investigation, which we did. When asked in a general sense, and not about Honus specifically, Caroline Hay says these kinds of relationships should be declared.
In the procurement rules and guidelines that I've read, there's been a concern about whether there is a connection either directly, meaning you have an interest in a company that's bidding for public assets and public benefit, or indirectly, meaning it's in the name of a wife, in the name of a girlfriend, in the name of a child, in the name of an associate. It's a duty of our staff and any other public officers and officials directly or indirectly involved in the procurement process, especially in the preparation of bidding documents, evaluation, contract negotiations, contract management and payments to declare any potential conflicts of interest.
Whether Honus declared his relationship with Garvin remains unclear. However, Bailey, his attorney, is adamant that all assets associated with Andrew Honus were declared.
In every case, everything that he has owned from the time that from the time he set up ADMAT, going back to 2001, everything has been declared.
We checked with the Integrity Commission, but no one ever got back to us. Information submitted is usually confidential.
The law that governs it explicitly states that these declarations cannot be made public, and if they are made public, whoever makes them public is subject to a fine of over $1 million, right? These declarations of assets need to be brought under the ambit of the Access to Information Act so that we can request to see and be given or given a good reason why we can't be given.
In Jamaica, breaches of the rules governing the awarding of government contracts carry a possible fine of $1,000 or around $8 and or 3 months in prison. Jamaica's newest Prime Minister, Andrew Honus, may have wrested control from the People's National Party, in part because of his 10-point tax plan. During the election campaign, though, there were skeptics. Critics charged, how was he going to plug the millions in lost revenues in US dollar terms when his plan would essentially eliminate income tax on those earning the equivalent of around $12,000 or less? Honus's plan was to spur spending and generate more revenue from consumption tax while raising taxes on high-end earners. We caught up with Honus on the campaign trail. We asked him what else he had up his sleeve and why at the time was he listed as being behind on his property taxes. Where is the economy going? Have you done any analysis of your tax plan and what economic growth is going to look like in your first year?
I wouldn't want to give you a specific figure.
But your analysis must have produced something that is tangible for the people to understand.
Yeah, but I didn't say I would give you that figure.
But it has produced a figure?
Of course.
Okay.
Otherwise, why would we do the analysis?
Give me a general sense of where we have on the low end and the top end.
I would say to you that if you're going to talk about economic growth, you should be above 3%.
Okay. That's a fair statement to make. Let's talk about some of the other taxes that you, tax incentives and lower rates. And
so
I think there was mention of some transfer taxes as well.
In general, our tax plan is to reduce transaction taxes. A part of economic growth is to get the velocity of transactions increasing, and particularly in construction and real estate, because those are major employment areas. So we will bring to the levels which we had them before our transfer tax and stamp duties, and estate taxes as well.
You seem to don't like taxes too much because
absolutely. I'm a small government, free enterprise person. I believe that markets work best.
Absolutely, you don't have tax. Absolutely, you don't have tax. And look at the tax we up on the people them.
Okay. Is that why you didn't pay the property taxes on the home?
No, my property taxes are paid.
On the THS website, when we did the valuation numbers for your properties, the outstanding taxes are there.
And that's it?
My taxes are paid.
Your tax not pay, brother. Your tax not pay. In your mind it pay. Because she call on the place and then say a 2-year owe. 64,000 something. 2 year you owe. So which part of your tax pay? It's on blood clot lie, man.
Looked, there was your Great House Boulevard property. There was your property that's owned by ADMAT, which you say you're the sole director of. And then there's another property that we actually found under ADMAT as well up at Wycliffe Close. All three were outstanding. And then we saw that at Wycliffe Close, taxes seem to have been outstanding since 2009. What about the other property, though, at Wycliffe Close?
That I would have to check on. I mean, that's been there for a little while, so I'll have to check on. But but I don't want to distract from the message.
What's
No,
message?
but you are the
What's
person
message?
that's saying that you don't
What's
necessarily
message?
love taxes, yeah?
Yeah,
and
but-
so
but-
you are the lead. You are a leader of this country, potentially the premier leader of this country come next week. And so I'm asking you the question: as the leader of a country, do you believe that your taxes should have been more up to date than the record reflects?
What I'm saying to you, from my best recollection, I've paid my.
All right. Understand on journalists in Jamaica do the type of journalist work like this girl here. Diane Jackson are going with herself. But see that lady here, Zara Burton, look how she conduct her interview. Look how, yo, just imagine if CVM and TVJ did I do for them work like how that girl here, Zara Burton, I do for them work, for her work. On the thing CVM and TVJ that short of viewership. Eh? Just imagine, you know, if we have these people within a media and a TV land, CVM and TVJ, if them did do the work like just like how she do for her type of journalism work. One of the things that them wouldn't have every people that tune into them like, wow. They don't have no sense. They don't have no sense. Listen how this lady here do her interview. Listen. And for all of these people who work at TVG and CVM, when you come a blood clot class, because on a papi show, listen how on the bucky prime minister, listen how on for asking the question them, and when you come a blood clot class.
Now, if it is that they are outstanding, it's not an issue to pay them.
Okay.
Andrew,
Hiding from taxes.
Andrew, it is an issue to pay them. Because 1 year pass you not pay. 2 year pass you not pay. It is a fucking issue. You just don't want to pay. And a guy like you who thief taxpayer money must never blood clot get away. You must never get away. What a wicked pussy like this here. Now I'm a taxi now want to pay. You want thief land free? This a boy I must back a one shop they make you. Bust back a shop they make you. You know nothing about yourself, man. I must back a shop or back a hog pen they make you back a fall cube. Must have a fall cube and a cellar. Must have a blood clot cellar house bottom. They make you. You know nothing about yourself, brother.
But ADMAT is designed for you to avoid potential estate taxes and transfer taxes.
No, it's designed for estate planning purposes.
For estate planning purposes, that means basically that you avoid some sort of taxes. And I'm saying, does it look good for a leader of a country?
I'm not clear that it's when we set it up, it was never to avoid.
Pussy, you set it up for avoid tax. You know what you do. You set it up for avoid tax. But when we set it up, you set it up with the intention for avoid tax. That is why you do it outside. But you see that boy, if you go to prison, this a pussy up and it's sorry for you bad word. If you go to prison, that boy if you go to prison. My thief, unless it's a boy a thief. And the Prime Minister, this is a highway robber, highway criminal this.
Any kind of taxes. And it's not likely that I would be able to sell everything. It was.
You can't go sell everything because we're going to seize it. We're going to see every blood clotting you have, you know. We're going to seize the asset and freeze the money. And when them done do the checks, any amount of money if you put back in the government copper, we're going to take it from you and put it back in the government copper. So we are dealing with it, Andrew. Politician now find themselves in a corruption and then go do time and still have the asset. We are seized back the asset. Put it over back to the government and we have freeze the money. And anyway, we find corruption, we take the money there and put it back in the government copper. And that's how we are dealing with it. So we are dealing with it, so you can stay there. We want everything on our teeth return back to the government. So we can use it for do what we want to do in the country. We move the country forward. So you can stay there. Eh? But when you not set it, you never say, you set up to avoid tax. Because you remember you're a thief, you know, Andrew. We not accept you're a thief, you know. And we not ask the Integrity Commission to come prove to we again say you're a thief. The Integrity Commission have to prove nothing to we again, you know. The Integrity Commission have to prove nothing to we again. We already know. Jamaican people know say you're a thief, you know, Andrew. I just show some of them a die-hearted, you know. You think they don't know say you're called criminal? The thief a grass yard market and obey you. So you're coming out with Parliament with it.
Set up merely as a way of holding assets. So it's a holding company.
Holding company.
But in any event.
It's a holding company. Yeah.
Any citizen of any country is...
Hey, you see, let me tell you why the corruption so deep in the Andrew honest. He must see himself as a citizen when he want thief. But one time he want to make rules and law avoid prison time, he see himself as a prime minister. He the bumbuck like dog shit. But any citizen, he is not any citizen. He is not any citizen, you know. Listen to this.
Permitted. It's not illegal to establish, and many persons have.
No doubt. I'm not talking about the legality. I'm more talking about.
Listen.
That I would be able to.
Listen, this guy. But any citizen. Listen to this pussy here.
As a way of holding assets. So it's a holding company. That's it. But in any event, you know, let's be clear. Any citizen of any country is permitted. It's not illegal to establish, and many persons have.
No doubt. I'm not talking about the legality. I'm more talking about does it look good for a leader to be trying to set up their situation so that they avoid paying tax?
No. Any company can, I think, avoid being in a situation. Look, my view on the matter is this. You should plan your estate and plan for taxes the best way possible.
He just said a while ago.
And just say, when he just set up he never had a plan for avoid tax. But he must say, when he have it back, why him ordered to take down, because when he watch it back, he must say, blood clot, them not idiot, man. And that he seeing himself, you know, say he's a fucking idiot. He might contradict himself, just like film liar boy, contradict. Two fucking idiot. Andrew Jones and him liar, brethren. Only thing Andrew Jones is good at is thieving. Two things Andrew Jones is good at. Thieving and mash up the country. Two things. Ain't good at thieving and mash up the country.
That you don't see a sense where you would be able to sell everything. What's everything? What's everything?
No, you mentioned two properties.
Right. Yeah. Well, there's Wakefield Close, right, which is an open land right now.
Look, we'll talk again.
No, one thing I wanted to ask.
She gonna ask him about Robert Garvin right now, saying, and to Robert Garvin deepen in corruption, listen what take place.
You've gone
hold
over
on,
the 5 minutes.
no, hold on, Mr. Honest. Mr. Honest, I must ask you a question. Can you give me a sense of who Robert Garvin is?
He's a company secretary, but what's the issue?
He's a company secretary. What's your relationship with him?
The man them a blow the thing because them want to disrupt the interview right there. But I want to know hear what Pastor Ricky have to say about this guy.
First of all, I respect the office of the Prime Minister. I've always have, but I do not respect the current holder of the office of the Prime Minister. Based upon all the evidence and the facts and the research, and what has been revealed is that this criminal Prime Minister is a criminal that should be indicted. And it's a shame that he was part of a Ponzi scheme that robbed an old lady of $60 million. Now, when we think of, so much has been said already, I don't want to repeat it, but let's take it back from 2017. Well, first of all, we knew he had 3 payouts from SSL. In 2011, based upon what his former lawyer says, when he needed money to purchase the land for his Beverly Hills $300 million mansion, them said people bad mind him about, which is not going to be a good defense strategy in a court of law at his criminal trial. So he had his first payout that we know in 2011. Then he had another payout from SSL in 2012, which we have documents of. Then the IC report revealed that he had another payout of $143,000 US in 2021. Now, after SSL was flagged by the Portia Simpson Miller Prime Minister administration.
Yeah, man, uncertified.
When he ran for Prime Minister not to serve the people. Let's get that straight. Because his criminality went far back from long before 2012 or 2013 when Mama P them flagged SSL. And we all know
way back to 2006.
Right, way back to 2006. Right. So in 2012, and when Mama P them flagged SSL for their financial irregularities, they were not trading like they led people to believe on the stock market. It was a lie to deceive, to lure people, to attract them to invest into something that was not real. SSL was set up to fund elections in 2016 and in 2020. SSL was flagged by the Portia Simpson Miller administration because they found out under the leadership of Dr. Peter Phillips the fraudulent criminal behavior that this criminal prime minister was a part of. He ran for prime minister to continue the criminality, not to serve the Jamaica people, but to serve himself and his cronies. When he became prime minister in 2016, that was God gift to him. Or I shouldn't say God gift to him. That was the devil's gift to him because God don't rob nobody. That was Satan's gift to the prime minister to continue his criminality. So what did he do in 2017? He allowed SSL to continue based upon what Mama P administration under the leadership of Dr. Peter Phillips had recommended that they should not continue to do any investments and so forth. Then also in 2018, you know, I thank God for programs like these because we deal with facts and truth. And as you can follow the timeline, in 2018, he allowed under his watch as prime minister, SSL to be placed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, which is a violation going back to the flag that Mama P administration flagged them in 2012 or 2013. So he allowed SSL to be placed on the Jamaica stock market, knowing fully well that they were not trading stocks. They were ripping the potential investors off. After they were placed on the stock market in 2018, here comes grandma, a 78-year-old lady, and the prime minister should be ashamed of himself. How could you sleep at night? You don't have any, if you don't pay back anybody their money, pay back grandma or $60 million. Seriously, no joke. This lady took her inheritance that she received from her son and was enticed and lured into a criminal Ponzi scheme that defrauded not just only her, but 199 other investors. So here come grandma in 2019, after SSL was placed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange to a reverse takeover to C2W Music. Yeah. And once they were placed on the stock market, that legitimized them to continue to defraud people out of there because they led them to believe that they were trading and doing investment. According to what was released in the Sunday Gleaner this past Sunday, grandma or granny, it grieves my heart. Trust me, I'm so upset right now. Granny was promised 33% ROI, return on her investment, of a criminal organized Ponzi scheme that the prime minister, along with Krosky, ran in Jamaica. And grandma was ripped off $60 million of her life savings. Promised a 33% increase on her investment of $60 million. And it never happened because they were never trading stocks. And then on top of that, and who knows how many other investor came in after they were placed on the stock market, because they use those lies to deceive potential investors. And so in 2021, based upon the IC report, the criminal prime minister had another payout from SSL of $143,000 US. This Ponzi scheme ripped off the greatest heist in the history of Jamaica. The mother of all scandal, SSL Ponzi scheme, ripped off 31 million US dollars. And in addition to NHT taxpayers' funds, no wonder why people can't get a house from NHT, because they don't have the money to give them a house. He come with this new housing development criminal Ponzi scheme to say you have to have a land to get a house, knowing that he took the NHT money that people paid into to get a house when they were ready. And so, knowing all along that he had defrauded people, he implemented this Ponzi scheme, new housing development program in 2018. So he had a payout of $143,000. This is the third payout we know he received. Now, when we get our hands on the Kroll report, we will be able to see how many other payout this criminal prime minister has. But I just want to say to the prime minister that you should resign immediately. If you were in a first world country, you would have been indicted and you would have been prosecuted for fraudulent behaviors as a leader of a country. Pay back grandma or $60 million. Even if both not get back in money, pay back grandma. Grandma almost had a nervous breakdown. Read her report that she said when she found out, she went to SSL building on Hope Road 5 different occasions to see if she can get back her money or any type of payout. And not to this day, she has not gotten back a single dime. The prime minister should be ashamed of himself. He's a criminal. He's the most dishonorable prime minister in the history of Jamaica. And on top of that, when the Kroll report, the FSC has the Kroll report, the DPP has the Kroll report. The DPP is between a rock and a hard place because she cannot prosecute Gina and Panton alone based upon what we know. She's going to have to prosecute all the players. We know she's political aligned and she's corrupt. She's the epitome of corruption, that she is the guardrail against prosecution for criminals in the government, her friends, and in the Jamaica Labour Party. We are watching you where you're the most scrutinized person in Jamaica right now, along with the criminal prime minister from international. You know, we're watching you and we have people watching you. You have to prosecute all of the players that the Kroll report recommended that you should prosecute. You cannot prosecute Gina and Panton alone. Gina and Panton, in her statement, written statement of confession, stated that she was only responsible for taking 20% of 4.1 million US dollars. So if you think you can prosecute Gina and Panton alone and show the case, you're going to go to prison, Miss Madam DPP, because this case is bigger than Jamaica. It's bigger than you. And when the United States government get involved, they're going to realize everything Kroll already investigated, which I know they already have the Kroll report, because what you don't know, after 9/11, the United States implemented or Congress passed the Patriot Act. And the Patriot Act allowed the United States government to collaborate with other foreign intelligence agencies all over the world. So I am pretty sure, 100% sure, that the feds already have the Kroll report. So if you think you can prosecute Gina and Panton alone and let you cross-curate and the criminal prime minister and all the other rest of player Nigel Clark off the hook, you are going to go to prison.
But Pastor Ricky, the healthcare are the reason for the Kroll report, you know. The healthcare, where Trump tell him to send back the Cuban doctor, because of the crew report, where them get them hand pan, and them have to do what Trump say, saying, let's see which one this.
Story following the Integrity Commission's report in relation to an investigation that involved Prime Minister Andrew Holness and concluded with a recommendation that the matter be referred to the Director of Prosecutions. Now, we know it's a pretty involved issue, so joining me in studio I have producer and TV anchor Giovanni Dennis, who is going to help me. What we want to do is start by going through the report for you, helping you to understand the sequence of events, what the Integrity Commission has set out in this report. We'll be hearing the response from the Prime Minister. He sent out a statement a short while ago. The leader of the opposition has made a preliminary statement as well, a preliminary comment on this, and also we'll get a couple of comments from commentators in terms of the significance of this and what needs to happen now. And Giovanni, let me just kick us off here, because just to give our viewers an indication of exactly what happened, the Integrity Commission said this is in relation to allegations that contracts were awarded to an entity called Western Construction, and that there is a connection or relationship between the owners of that company and Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who was at...
I hate Zara Burton just to talk about just a while. The same finding as Zara Burton get, and the same finding the Integrity Commission get. I'm not going to listen.
At the time of the circumstances outlined in this report, the Minister of Education, Youth and Information.
Now, the report goes on to say that the investigation sought to ascertain, among other things, the nature and particulars of GOJ contracts that were awarded to Westcon Construction Limited during the relevant period. B, the nature and extent of the relationship between Andrew Holness and the directors of Westcon Construction Limited. C, the extent of the involvement, if any, of Andrew Holness in the award of Government of Jamaica contracts to Westcon Construction Limited. D, whether the circumstances surrounding the award of contracts and or the processes utilized by 1, the Ministry of Education and Youth, 2, the National Works Agency, 3, the Social Development Commission was devoid of irregularity and impropriety and was fair and transparent.
Now, we just want to take you through a couple of the key findings. So, one is that in all, 10 contracts were awarded by the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information to Western Construction during the relevant period.
Now, of the 10 contracts, only 5 were reported to the Office of the Contractor General by way of the Ministry of Education's quarterly contract award reports for the period.
The direct contracting procurement methodology was used in one case. It was disclosed by the Ministry of Education that they use a criteria for, quote, lowest responsive tender in the other 9 contracts.
Now, the 10 contracts awarded by the Ministry of Education were between the contract values of $1.4 million and $3.36 million and had a cumulative value of $21.8 million.
Now, the report also gives some particulars in terms of the company itself, Western Construction, that it was registered by the Company's Office of Jamaica. A director shareholder was Robert Garvin. Donovan Simpson was a director shareholder. Jerome Green was the secretary of the company. And then they went into some detail in terms of the nature of the relationship between Mr. Holness as well as the directors and the principals of Western Construction, and they point out that Mr. Garvin and Mr. Simpson, both directors and shareholders, have been known to Mr. Holness for over 20 years.
Now, based on the disclosure which was made by Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Mr. Robert Garvin is personally known to him and had been employed both in the Prime Minister's West Central constituency and his personal business. It was also disclosed by the Prime Minister that Mr. Donovan Simpson is known to him casually and was introduced to him by Mr. Garvin, and that Mr. Simpson was engaged by him privately to undertake land surveying work.
All right, now then the report goes into a series of facts in relation to information gleaned from the Companies Office of Jamaica. We're not going to go into all of that, but suffice it to say it includes statements that, for instance, Mr. Holness is a director of the company called Positive Jamaica Foundation. Other directors were included Robert Garvin, Mark Azan, Kadisha Campbell, Kent Gammon, Warren Vernon, and Robert Garvin, I beg your pardon, noted as a ceased director. And the report goes through that kind of information for a number of companies to illustrate the kind of connectedness between the shareholders of Weston as well as Mr. Holness. So we're going to take you now directly to the part of the report where they speak of the extent of what they call the extent of Mr. Holness's involvement in the award of government contracts to Weston. They said Weston was recommended by way of a letter dated December 20, 2007, written by Mr. Holness for the award of a contract in the amount of $1.4 million for works in the West Central St. Andrew constituency related to the 2007 Christmas work program.
Now, in relation to the contract which was awarded by the SDC to Westcon Construction Limited in the amount of $375,000, Mr. Holness wrote to the SDC by way of letter dated September 23, 2009 and advised that Mr. Robert Garvin was employed as the project manager under the Constituency Development Fund in West Central St. Andrew. Subsequent invoices were provided to the SDC requiring that payment be made to Mr. Garvin, care of Westcon Construction Limited.
All right, now in terms of the recommendations, and this is what of course has grabbed the headlines, the report says in relation to the Ministry of Education's failure to report to the Office of the Contractor General 5 contracts awarded to Westcon and which have been mentioned, the Director of Investigation has referred this report to the Director of Corruption Prosecution for such actions as the Director may deem appropriate.
Now, having regard to the provisions of Section 29 of the then applicable Contractor General Act and the NWA's failure to report to the OCG 20 contracts which were awarded to Westcon Construction Limited and which have been mentioned herein, the Director of Investigation refers a copy of this investigation report to the Director of Corruption Prosecution for such actions as the Director may deem to be appropriate.
And in respect of representations made by the Social Development Commission in its reports in relation to the procurement methodology used to award contracts to Westcon, the Director of Investigation is referring the report to Director of Corruption for such actions as the Director may deem appropriate.
Now, the matter concerning the potential conflict of interest which arose in relation to the recommendation which was made by the Most Honorable Andrew Holness is being referred to the Director of Corruption Prosecution for consideration with respect to breaches of the Contractor General.
We don't talk to them, you know. We don't talk to them. Big up on yourself here. I have some more things, but when I work tomorrow, so I can show you the rest of things them. You see me? So big up on yourself. I'm going to take you in Julian Robinson over Andre. Because Mr. Julian Robinson on, so I'm going to listen to him talk. I'm going to talk something about the Finsac report and I'm kind of intrigued with that thing there. Because them feel to release it. So until them time, big up on yourself, peace out, Black Beauty, stay. Big up yourself, Delroy, the whole works. Big up on yourself to hear that. Look more.
Yeah. Day to the R&D.
Dummy on the beat, so it's a bang.
Oh, them so thief. 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 Tough turn a thief, Bombas a thief. Juliet she a thief, Rhoda a thief. Fly Green a thief, Desmond a thief. Babsy a thief, Harrison a thief. Gold ministry, not the party a thief. 1 PM make us a blood clot thief. Pay corruption, all police and soldier thief. Jamaica something wrong.
Psalms 23 verse 5. Don't prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. God are gonna make you win in front of the wall of them.
Or where they come from, send it back, send it back. Every evil arrow, anywhere he come from, send it back. If a China, if a Jamaica,
verse 18. Where he come from? We say listen back. Turn, reverse the curse. Reverse the curse. Reverse the order. Reverse the curse. Reverse the order. Somebody say, reverse the curse. Yeah. Reverse the order. Somebody reverse the curse. Reverse the order over Jamaica. Reverse the curse, mighty God. Reverse the order. If a king's house, if a garden house, if a the prime minister, if a the opposition.
What the work out? Don't want like you fast asleep. Reply tell us say, rise and trim your life. Yeah. Here's a message on your seal. Kill this man. Oh, Lord God. Hey, but you fast asleep.
Bad company, watch them. Bob Marley did sing a little song. Where did they go again? Could you be loved and be loved? And then in my little line there say, don't make them fool you. Don't make them try to school. Come on, watch them. Paul said they are bad company. Bad company. It's bad company. Watch them.
Time come. Some are